Welcome, curious minds, to the deep dive. Today, we're not just looking at, a new gadget or just a faster way to get around.
No, not at all.
We're about to explore something much bigger, a technological and, frankly, a moral earthquake that promises to fundamentally reshape our cities, our economies, even how we think about being safe on the roads.
It's huge. Imagine a world where your car isn't just sitting there most of the time, but it's actually out working for you, an income-generating asset.
Exactly. And picture cities where traffic accidents just plummet, like close to zero, where millions of lives are saved every single year. It sounds like sci-fi, doesn't it?
It absolutely does.
Yeah.
But what's so fascinating and what we're diving into today is that this isn't some far-off dream.
Right.
We're talking about a transformation that's already happening right now. And it forces this profound reevaluation of mobility, ethics, economics. It's potentially a real before and after moment driven by AI.
Absolutely. So our mission today is to unpack the powerful arguments for why robotaxis, and yeah, specifically Tesla's approach, aren't just technologically cool, which they are, but are, in a very real sense, a moral imperative.
A moral imperative, yeah.
Yeah.
That's a strong way to put it. But the data we'll discuss later really supports that view.
And crucially, what does this massive shift mean for you listening right now? We'll dive deep into the core tech, full self-driving, or FSD, and then right away we'll get into historian Yuval Noah Harari's incredibly compelling case for autonomous vehicles being nothing less than a societal upgrade.
And connecting that, we'll compare Tesla's approach, that vision-only scalable strategy against Waymo's, the LiDAR heavy method. We need to understand those differences.
Definitely. We'll trace the robotaxi journey too, from those early bold concepts, the delays, to the actual launch and expansion we're seeing now.
And we have to look at the money side, right? The huge bull case from people like Cathie and Dan Ives versus the skeptics. We'll try to decode what this means for the future of mobility and potentially wealth.
Get ready because, yeah, the future feels a lot closer than we might think, and it seems to be accelerating.
Exponentially, yes.
Okay, let's start with the basics, segment one. What is FSD? Because you can't really grasp this revolution without understanding this software, this AI brain.
Right. Full self-driving, FSD.
Ugh.
It's Tesla's AI powerhouse. Essentially, it's sophisticated software designed to take over more and more of the driving task.
Like, what specifically? What can it do now?
Well, core functions include things like automatic lane changing on highways, navigating on autopilot pretty much from on-ramp to off-ramp, handling interchanges, and even smart summon.
Ah, yeah, where the car drives itself across a parking lot to find you. Still feels a bit like magic.
It does. And the ultimate goal, obviously, is full autonomy. The car handles everything, all conditions, no human needed.
And how does it, what's the power source here?
It's primarily cameras, usually 8 of them, placed around the car, feeding real-time visual data into a powerful neural network. It's designed to mimic how humans see and interpret the world.
So it learns. It's not just following fixed rules.
Exactly. It's constantly learning, adapting from the data it gathers. Which brings us to where it is now, September 2025. It's operating at SAE Level 2.
Okay, level 2. Remind us what that means in practice.
Level 2 is partial automation. The system does a lot: steering, accelerating, braking, but, and this is crucial, it requires constant driver supervision. You need your hands on the wheel, eyes on the road, ready to take over instantly.
So like an advanced cruise control, but you're still the captain of the ship. Maybe like a very, very good student driver.
That's a decent analogy, yeah. An inexperienced student driver is how some describe it, emphasizing the need for oversight. But the tech is improving rapidly.
And the goal isn't to stay at level 2, right? What's the target?
The target is level 4. That's a huge jump. Level 4 means unsupervised operation, but typically within specific conditions or areas.
Okay, unsupervised. So no driver needed at all in those conditions.
Correct. But the key differentiator Tesla is aiming for is level 4 without strict geographical limits, or geofences.
Oh, those virtual boundaries Waymo uses, where they have to pre-map everything meticulously.
Getting to level 4 without needing those fences, being able to operate more generally, that would be the massive breakthrough, from co-pilot to truly independent driver in its domain.
Okay, now this is where it gets economically, well, fascinating. For investors, FSD is the key. But it's more than that, isn't it? It changes the whole idea of owning a car.
Completely flips it. Instead of this thing that just costs you money and sits idle 95% of the time.
Which is crazy when you think about it.
Right. Tesla's vision is turning your car into an asset, something that can generate income. Owners might subscribe to FSD for their own use, or, and here's the revolution, deploy their car into a robotaxi fleet.
So my car could be out earning money while I'm at work or sleeping.
That's the potential. It redefines car ownership from liability to potentially, a micro business.
And the scale here is staggering. How many cars are we talking about?
As of now, September 2025, over 2 million Tesla vehicles globally are FSD ready. That's an enormous potential fleet.
2 million. And they're all collecting data.
Constantly. Billions with a B. Billions of miles of real-world driving data feeding back into the neural network. Every turn, every weird situation it learns. Traditional automakers just can't compete with that data volume.
And the safety record, you mentioned it's safer.
Demonstrably, yes. Even in its current supervised state, the data shows FSD is about 10 times safer than the average human driver. That's based on miles driven per accident.
10 times safer even now.
It's a huge number, and it's based on real-world performance.
So bringing this back to the listener, what does this mean for me thinking about my next car or just how I get around?
It could fundamentally change everything. Do you even need to own a car in the traditional sense if you can summon a cheap autonomous ride anytime? Or if you do own one, does it become a smart investment rather than just an expense?
Right. Your car pays for itself, maybe.
Potentially, yeah. And it's not just the serious stuff. Tesla wraps it in fun, too, doesn't it? The spaceship sounds, the light shows.
Yeah, the customizable horns and the choreographed lights. It makes the tech feel less intimidating, more engaging.
Exactly. It adds that bit of magic, that futuristic feel. It connects people to the technology in a more emotional way, which is clever.
Okay, so that's FSD. But what about Tesla, the company, right now? What's the foundation they're building this robotaxi future on? Let's look at Tesla today.
That's a good point. As of, let's say, September 2nd, 2025, Tesla is still the dominant force in EVs. Over 50% market share in the U.S., king of the hill.
Still crushing it on car sales.
Yeah, but their strength is deeper than just selling cars. It's the ecosystem. The supercharger network is massive, indispensable for making EVs practical.
You basically can't road trip easily in another EV without relying on Tesla's network or facing a lot more hassle.
Pretty much. And then there's the energy side.
Yeah.
The megapacks for utility storage, power walls for homes. It's becoming this integrated energy and transport company.
And financially. Q2 earnings were strong, right? Deliveries beat expectations.
They did. The core business is healthy. But if you talk to investors, the real buzz, the thing driving that huge valuation potential, it's all about robotaxi.
That's the multi-trillion-dollar dream, not just selling more Model Ys.
Exactly. Autonomy is the catalyst everyone's watching. Which leads us to what's next.
Right, the immediate goals. What are the big ones?
The absolute key one is unsupervised FSD, getting past level 2, aiming for late 2025. That's the game changer.
Removing the need for constant human oversight.
Correct. And alongside that, Elon Musk keeps talking about V14, the next major software version. He's called it a 10x leap.
10 times. What does that even mean in software terms?
It likely points to huge upgrades in the underlying AI, maybe vastly more parameters in the neural network, much more sophisticated training data, a fundamental improvement in how it perceives and predicts, not just tweaking, but a step change in capability.
Teaching it to understand, not just see. That makes sense. And we're seeing actual deployments now, right? It's not just promises anymore.
Absolutely. The Austin beta launch, June 22nd, 2025, that was huge.
Yeah.
It's real world, operating across 171 square miles now, with 15 to 30 vehicles initially, likely more now.
And expanding?
Expanding, yes. And they launched in the Bay Area in July. Complex environment there. Plus, they secured Texas-wide permits. That signals intent for much broader rollout.
So the groundwork is being laid. And the data keeps pouring in.
Billions of miles, somewhere between 3 and 4.74 billion FSD miles logged globally by now. Think about that learning curve. Fleet activations are surging too.
More cars using it, feeding the beast.
Precisely. And even the updates before V14, like V13 earlier in 2025, improved detection capabilities significantly. It's constant iteration.
So for investors, this looks like, what, a rocket on the launch pad?
That's the narrative, yeah. A potential $1 trillion plus market in autonomy. And sometimes they throw in sweeteners like free lifetime supercharging to boost sales and lock people into the ecosystem. It's all part of the long game.
Okay, so the tech is moving fast, the deployments are starting, but why is this push for autonomy seen as, well, necessary? You mentioned a moral imperative earlier. Let's bring in Yuval Noah Harari's perspective here.
Right. Harari, in his book, 21 Lessons for the 21st Century, makes a really powerful case. He basically argues that self-driving cars are a significant upgrade for humanity itself.
An upgrade? How so?
He says AI fundamentally trumps human intuition in driving. Because AI has superior pattern recognition optimized calculations, it's consistent. It leads to better judgments, fewer
It
accidents.
doesn't panic or get distracted by a text.
Exactly. No panic, no distraction, no road rage, no fatigue, no emotional bias in a crisis. Humans.
Yeah.
We bring all that baggage to the driver's seat.
That makes sense. And the consistency point is interesting too, like with rule changes.
Perfect example. A fleet of AI cars can adopt a new traffic rule instantly via a software update. Imagine trying to get millions of humans to do that overnight. Impossible.
Yeah, that takes years, if ever. And Harari talks about the trolley problem too, right? Those ethical dilemmas.
He does. In a crisis, an unavoidable accident scenario, AI can be programmed with ethical frameworks to, say, maximize safety or minimize harm consistently. Humans, in that split second. Our decisions are often erratic, emotional, inconsistent. AI offers a programmed, predictable response, even if the choice itself is difficult.
And the core justification for this, it comes down to the human cost of driving now.
Tragically, yes. Harari points out the global statistic. 1.25 million people die in traffic accidents every year.
1.25 million. That's staggering.
It is. And the really sobering part, 90% of those deaths are due to human error.
90%. What kind of errors?
The big ones. Drunk driving accounts for about 31%, speeding around 30%, and distractions roughly 21%. These are preventable human mistakes causing immense tragedy.
So Harari's argument is if we have technology that can eliminate 90% of those errors, then we could potentially save around 1 million lives every single year. It shifts from being a cool tech feature to a profound moral obligation. 1 million lives a year. And the data we have so far supports this safety claim. You mentioned Tesla's stats.
Yes. Humans crash, on average, about every 500,000 miles. Tesla's supervised FSD, one crash per 6.69 million miles. That's 10 to 13 times safer. It's a massive difference already.
Even Waymo shows better stats than humans, right?
They do. Waymo reports 0.6 injury crashes per million miles compared to the human average of 2.8. Whichever take you look at, the AI systems are proving safer in the miles they've driven.
So Harari calls it an inevitable moral imperative. He basically says we'd be mad not to adopt this.
Pretty much. He argues that blocking life-saving technology to protect, say, driving jobs would be madness. The societal benefit, the lives saved, they vastly outweigh the disruption.
And he sees the connectivity aspect multiplying the benefits, cars talking to each other.
Exactly. Linked fleets become like a single coordinated organism, anticipating moves, preventing collisions. Trust builds like it did with Google Maps. We rely on it now because it works. He sees the same path for autonomous driving.
So this isn't just evolution, it's revolution. Saving lives, but also forcing us to confront these coded trolley problems.
Right. It's a fundamental shift, and it comes with complex ethical questions we need to grapple with as a society. But the potential upside, in terms of lives saved, is immense.
Okay, so if autonomy is coming, how we get there matters. This brings us to the big tech battle. Tesla's cameras versus Waymo's LiDAR. Why did Tesla go vision only?
This is really the crux of the scalability argument. Waymo's approach is like building a fortress. Their cars are loaded with sensors. 5 LiDARs, 6 radars, 29 cameras.
29 cameras, plus LiDAR and radar.
Yeah, it's a very complex, hardware-intensive stack. It's designed for incredibly precise 3D mapping of the environment.
And it works well, right, in the areas it knows.
Extremely well. Yeah. Within those geofenced zones where they've meticulously mapped everything, Waymo operates at level 4. No driver needed. It's like a skilled chauffeur in its known territory. Solid performance.
But the downsides?
2 big ones. Cost and scale. That hardware is expensive. And crucially, it relies on those pre-mapped areas. Expanding to a new city means a slow, costly mapping process. It can't just drive anywhere like a human can.
It's geographically chained in a way.
Exactly. Now, contrast that with Tesla. Their philosophy is primarily vision only. Cameras, like human eyes, processed by a powerful AI brain.
Mimicking human driving.
Right. And the massive advantage is scalability. Think about it. Over 2 million Teslas already on the road have the core hardware. They could potentially become robotaxis with a software update and subscription.
Instant fleet potential globally.
Unmatched fleet potential. That's the bet. Leverage the existing cars, improve the software through data, and scale rapidly without needing bespoke hardware or mapping for every street corner.
This is where Elon Musk is famously outspoken. LiDAR is a fool's errand.
He's been very blunt, calls it a crutch. Now, it's important context. Tesla used LiDAR and radar before. Musk even oversaw LiDAR development for SpaceX docking.
So he knows the tech. He just thinks it's wrong for driving.
For generalized self-driving, yes. His argument has a few layers. One is the human analogy. We drive with eyes, so AI should too. But technically,
What's the technical argument?
he talks about sensor contention. If the LiDAR sees one thing, the radar another, and the camera's a third, which sensor wins? That ambiguity, he argues, increases risk. It doesn't decrease it.
Conflicting signals leading to hesitation or bad decisions?
Potentially, yeah. He claims that's why Waymo struggles on highways and why Tesla turned off radar in their cars to rely solely on vision for a cleaner, more decisive signal. Cameras FTW, as he put it.
And weather. He mentioned LiDAR struggles there.
Correct. He argues LiDAR doesn't perform well in snow, heavy rain, or dust because the laser signals scatter. That's why, he claims, Waymo vehicles often pause operations in bad weather. Vision, like human eyes, still has challenges, but might be more adaptable across conditions.
So Tesla's betting everything on their AI getting good enough to interpret camera feeds better than a suite of sensors can map the world.
And crucially, betting on their data advantage. Billions of real-world miles versus the hardware. They believe this massive, diverse data set allows their AI to generalize and handle novel situations far better than a system reliant on pre-mapped zones.
It's cost-effective generalization versus conservative, map-heavy precision.
That's a good way to put it. So for investors or just observers, the advice seems to be bet on scale. But you have to acknowledge that gap. Waymo is level 4 now in its zones. Tesla is level 2 now everywhere, aiming for level 4 without fences soon.
That's the race. Can Tesla's AI bridge that gap fast enough to make the scale advantage pay off?
That's the multi-trillion-dollar question they're working intensely to answer.
Okay, let's talk about the journey itself, this robotaxi idea. Feels like it's been promised for a long time. How did we get from those early, maybe over-optimistic promises to actual deployment?
It's definitely been a saga, hasn't it? A decade of really ambitious visions. And yeah, timelines well, they often slipped. That's undeniable.
There were some pretty bold predictions back in the day.
There were. But the key message, I think, when you look back, is that despite the delays, Tesla does tend to deliver eventually. And crucially, they keep moving forward while competitors seem to stumble or scale incredibly slowly.
Musk himself admits it's hard, right? Predicting autonomy timeline.
Oh yeah, he's been candid on X about it. Things like progress is exponential, acknowledging the difficulty, but emphasizing the acceleration. And comparing it to production hell, basically saying, we've done hard things before, we'll do this too.
It sets expectations, but also shows resolve. How does their pace compare to, say, Waymo or Cruise?
It puts things in perspective. Waymo started way back in 2009 as Google's project. Took nearly 10 years for commercial rides in Phoenix. And even now, mid-2025, expansion is careful, city by city, still largely geofenced.
Slow and steady, maybe?
Deliberate, certainly. Then look at Cruise. GM's Cruise generated a lot of hype, driverless in SF in 2019. But then that awful incident in 2023.
Right, the pedestrian incident that led to their permits being revoked.
Exactly. A huge setback. They're trying to rebound cautiously now, but it shows how complex the safety, regulatory, and public trust aspects are. They're nowhere near Tesla's global fleet potential right now.
So what about Tesla's specific timeline? It's had its bumps.
Definitely. Hints of the concept in 2014, autopilot in 2015, then the prediction started. 2015 saying autonomy by 2018, the 2016 FSD video impressive but staged. 2017 promised you can slick in your car by 2019.
And the big one, 2019 Autonomy Day. 1 million robotaxis by 2020.
Yeah, that one stands out. Then 2021 targeting level 5. Clearly, those timelines were ambitious.
Hugely optimistic, but they kept working, kept pivoting.
They did. 2021 was pivotal with the vision-only shift, ditching radar. A massive infrastructure build-out for AI, training NVIDIA chips, their own AI chips.
But they stepped back from Dojo recently, called it an evolutionary dead end.
Right, which shows they're pragmatic.
Yeah.
If something isn't the best path, they change course, even big projects. Then came hardware upgrades like HW4, billions more miles logged, internal testing in Palo Alto.
Refining it constantly. And the Cybercab unveil.
October 2024. Showed the dedicated vehicle design, all leading up to regulatory approvals, and finally the Austin supervised beta launch. June 22, 2025. Using standard Model Ys, importantly.
Validating that owner fleet model. And the flat $4.20 fee made waves.
Instantly competitive pricing. And the user experience, even in beta, sounds pretty slick. Summon via app, personalized settings.
Synced music, climate control.
Yeah. Post-ride, it handles charging. And for owners, that potential revenue share, up to 70%, is the real carrot.
So the story is one of grit, turning hype into reality, eventually.
I think that's fair. Perseverance, innovation, adaptation, it's a compelling narrative, even with the delays and the current supervision need. It shows the vision is becoming tangible.
Okay, Austin is growing, Bay Area is online. Where else is this going? How global is this expansion, and what else is Tesla doing to build out this whole autonomous experience?
The expansion is happening fast. Austin's beta area quadrupled to 171 square miles, fleet size up 50% since launch. That's rapid iteration in one city.
Bay Area adds complexity. Texas-wide permits suggest they're ready to cover a whole state soon. Unsupervised, targeted for late 2025 there.
That seems to be the plan. A huge step if they achieve it.
Right.
But yeah, it's definitely not just a U.S. thing anymore.
Where else is FSD rolling out?
Q1 2025 saw introductions in China, the UK, and parts of Europe. China's massive, obviously. Huge market, unique driving challenges, great for data diversity.
And Norway gave them a special exemption.
A 2-year exemption for FSD, yeah, that's significant. A progressive country basically saying, let's see what this can do. Australia is also slated for late 2025.
So they're really pushing for global presence. What about the fleet size goal?
Ambitious. 35,000 robotaxis targeted by 2026. Is building a serious network, learning from roads all over the world.
And the software keeps improving for regular drivers, too. V13 added things.
Right, like rear cross-traffic alerts, important safety features that benefit everyone, developed partly through the push for autonomy, continuous improvement via OTA updates.
Now, that Tesla diner, that sounds like something else entirely. Tell us about that. Hollywood, right?
Opened July 21, 2025. Yeah. It's more than just chargers. It's an experience. ADV4 superchargers, yes, but also a retro diner, a drive-in movie screen.
And Optimus robots serving popcorn? Seriously.
Apparently. It's designed to be this immersive vibe, part of the AI ecosystem, a place people want to go, not just need to go for a charge, building that lifestyle brand.
Extending the Tesla world beyond the car.
Exactly, creating a destination. That owner quote, a sci-fi date night with my car, kind of captures it, doesn't it? That blend of tech and fun.
It does. So overall, it feels like exponential progress, driving into something more experiential.
Yeah, turning highways into playgrounds is a bit hyperbolic, but it captures the feeling. Blending advanced tech with these engaging experiences makes the future feel desirable, not just functional.
Okay, so Tesla's expanding, building this ecosystem. How are the established players reacting? Like Uber, we touched on this, but let's hear about their CEO, Dara Khosrowshahi.
It's a really interesting dynamic. Initially, Khosrowshahi actually approached Tesla. He ditched a partnership.
Uber wanted Tesla Robotaxis on their platform.
That was the idea.
Yeah.
Imagine that. Uber gets instant access to leading autonomy tech.
Yeah.
Tesla gets access to Uber's massive ride-hailing network. Seemed like a win-win on paper.
But Musk said no.
He did. Opted for the solo path. Keep it all in-house, the tech, the network, the revenue. Typical Tesla vertical integration strategy. Confident they could build their own dominant network.
A bold move, turning down Uber. What did Khosrowshahi say publicly after that?
This is where it gets fascinating. He went on record praising Tesla, called Musk's robotaxi vision pretty compelling, called FSD delightful.
Delightful. That's strong praise from a competitor.
Very strong. He even acknowledged Tesla as their biggest competitor and admitted no one wants to compete with Elon. That's a pretty candid admission of the threat Tesla represents.
There was a but, wasn't there? He didn't fully endorse the vision-only approach.
Right. Despite the praise, he also championed multi-sensors. He said something like, in the short term, a combination of camera, LiDAR, and radar is the right solution.
So, hedging his bets. Praising Tesla's vision, but maybe suggesting Uber would pursue a different, perhaps more sensor-heavy path, maybe through partnerships.
Exactly. It seems like he's playing both sides. Recognizing Tesla's progress is undeniable, but still advocating for redundancy, which might be Uber's strategy or hope for competitors.
So what's the takeaway for us? He sees the threats, admires the vision, but maybe hopes there's room for other approaches.
I think so. His comments suggest the market is huge, maybe big enough for different strategies to coexist, at least for a while. But his clear respect for Tesla's momentum is telling.
Okay, let's talk about one of the biggest potential impacts, price. How is Tesla's robotaxi pricing set to disrupt Uber, Lyft, and even Waymo?
This is where it could get brutal for incumbents. Tesla's pricing isn't just competitive, it's positioned as a game changer, designed to drastically slash costs for riders.
Cheaper rides, basically. How much cheaper?
Let's look at the 2025 data from Austin and SF. Tesla starts with a flat $4.20 base fare. then averages $1.50 per mile.
Okay, how does that compare?
Uber and Lyft, usually $2–3.50 per mile plus surge pricing. Waymo, also in that $2.50 to $3–3.50 per mile range, because their tech is expensive too.
So Tesla's consistently cheaper, especially without surge.
Significantly. Take a short 1.5-mile trip, Tesla's around $4. Uber Lyft could easily be $10. Waymo might be $20.
Wow, $4 versus $10 or $20 for the same short trip. That's huge.
It is. And for longer trips, the savings get even bigger. Projections suggest fully unsupervised Tesla Robotaxis could drop to maybe 30–40 cents per mile eventually.
30 cents a mile. That makes owning a car seem questionable for many people.
It really does. Why the huge difference? It's simple. No human driver. That 60–70% of the operating cost, gone.
Wages, benefits, insurance.
All reduced or eliminated. Plus, Tesla's owner fleet model means potentially way more cars available, cutting wait times and covering wider areas than geofenced services like Waymo.
More availability, less waiting. And the convenience factor.
Huge. Summon from your phone, it arrives playing your music, climate set, no awkward small talk. It's a personalized private space on demand.
Sounds appealing. But what about the owners earning money? And the current drivers?
Owners stand to make serious income, maybe up to $30,000 a year, according to some projections. That's transformative. But yeah, current Uber and Lyft drivers, they have to be sweating. Their livelihood is directly threatened by this automation. Big societal shift there.
So this could flip the existing $200 billion ride-hail market into something much, much bigger, a $1 trillion opportunity.
That's the bull case. It's not just stealing market share. It's potentially extending the entire market for mobility services by making it so much cheaper and more convenient, truly rewriting the rules.
Okay, beyond the numbers and the tech, what's the feel of this? What are early users, influencers, owners saying about actually experiencing Robotaxi? Give us the vibes.
The vibes are generally pretty ecstatic, mixed with a dose of reality. You get stories like that owner talking about the dual-car light show on a date night, calling it sci-fi with the cars playing music. It sparks genuine delight.
That emotional connection again, it's not just transport.
Right. Then you have insiders like Sawyer Merritt after the Austin launch, calling it transformative, saying it scales value exponentially, seeing the business impact immediately.
And Farzad Masbahi, his mind-blowing experience.
Yeah, the Summon from Airport example. He emphasized how it turns ownership into passive income. That practicality combined with the wow factor is powerful. Landing, hitting a button, and your car, which might have earned money while you flew, comes to pick you up.
That is mind-blowing. So these accounts, they paint a picture of magic mixed with reality.
Exactly. You hear about the magic, the quiet rides, the big glass roofs, the seamless personalization. But you also hear about the acknowledged flaws. The occasional hesitation, maybe a slightly awkward merge, things that are still being ironed out.
So it's not perfect yet, but the overall feeling is positive, inspired.
Overwhelmingly, yes. The sentiment from early users is one of seeing tangible progress towards an incredible future. It feels real, even with the current limitations, and the potential feels immense.
Which brings us squarely to the big debate, the investment case, bull versus bear. Is this truly a $1 trillion vision, or are the risks too high?
This is where the opinions really diverge. Let's start with the bulls, the optimists. Cathie Wood at ARK Invest is a huge believer.
What's her take?
She sees an $8–10 trillion global market, not billion, trillion. She thinks the cybercab and robotaxis could add 10x value to Tesla by 2030, and that 90% of Tesla's future worth is robotaxis.
90%. So basically, forget cars, it's an AI robotics company.
That's her thesis. And Dan Ives at Wedbush, also incredibly bullish, predicts the launch could push Tesla to a $2 trillion market cap, calls it a Bitcoin age, setting a $500 price target.
Wow. Any other big bulls?
Tom Lee at Fundstrat sees Robotaxi and Optimus as key recovery drivers, highlighting brand loyalty. The core bull arguments are rapid scaling via the fleet, FSD V14 being a massive leap, and just relentless innovation outpacing rivals.
Okay, that's a compelling bull case.
Yeah.
What about the bears? What are their main arguments?
The bears focus heavily on chronic delays. They list the missed deadlines. 2015 predicting 2018, the 2016 video, 2017 sleep in car promise, 2019's million robotaxis by 2020, 2021 targeting level 5.
They see a pattern of over-promising and under-delivering on timelines, execution failure.
Exactly. That erodes trust for them. And then there's safety, the other huge pillar of the bear case.
What specific safety concerns do they raise?
They point to incidents like curb hopping, wrong lane driving, phantom braking. They highlight the NHTSA probes, the 20 fatalities involving Tesla ADAS systems since 2019, though again, these were supervised systems.
And lawsuits.
Yes. Lawsuits alleging securities fraud over overstated readiness, calls from safety advocates to delay launches. The core bear argument is that Tesla prioritizes optics over safety, takes too many risks, and could face huge regulatory backlash.
Plus, the tech doubts LiDAR is better, weather limitations, scalability concerns.
They bring all that back up too. It's a combination of execution risk, safety risk, and fundamental technological skepticism.
Okay, so how do we weigh these? How do we synthesize this? Delays first, are they just normal for disruptive tech?
That's the counterargument. Building true AI-driven autonomy is incredibly hard. Maybe the delays are par for the course. And Tesla's structure vertical integration, massive data flow, allows for hyper-exponential improvement via software updates. Setbacks get fixed faster than competitors can react. The data fire hose turns delays into learning opportunities.
Makes sense. What about safety? How do we reconcile the 10x safer stat with the accidents and probes?
It's about rates versus anecdotes, and system capability versus human supervision. The rate of crashes on supervised FSD is statistically far lower than human drivers. Errors are dropping with software updates like V13 and the upcoming V14.
And the Harari point, many incidents are these trolley dilemmas.
Right. Situations where any driver, human or AI, faces a terrible choice.
Yeah.
Humans react erratically. AI can be programmed ethically, potentially leading to that 90% overall reduction in fatalities Harari talks about. Bears focus on the individual AI error. Bulls focus on the potential systemic win. It's a different framing.
A societal win versus a specific system flaw.
And compared to rivals, Waymo and Cruise have faced their own significant hurdles, safety incidents, regulatory pauses. Tesla's scale and data might give them an edge in overcoming these faster.
So, weighing it all, where do you think the balance lies currently?
Based on the momentum, the data advantage, the expanding deployments, and the sheer scale of the vision, you'd have to say the bulls dominate the narrative right now. The skepticism is valid and necessary, but the trajectory seems tilted strongly in favor of the optimists.
Wow, okay. What a deep dive that was. We've really unpacked the Tesla Robotaxi revolution today, seen it not just as this cool tech,
Not just a gadget, no.
but as potentially, as Harari argues, this moral imperative to save potentially 1 million lives a year.
Yeah.
We dug into the tech choices, that vision versus LiDAR battle.
The long, sometimes bumpy journey from concept to actual deployment in cities like Austin and SF.
And weighed that huge economic potential, the trillion-dollar bull case, against the very real concerns of the skeptics.
Absolutely. And this dive really shows how that sci-fi future is becoming, well, present reality. It's happening now.
Yeah.
The shift is underway, redefining safety, convenience, and even how wealth is created.
For sure. So the final thought for you, our listener. As these autonomous vehicles become more common, how will your relationship with driving, with owning a car, actually change?
Right. What happens when your car can earn money while you're not using it?
Yeah.
When it becomes an active asset?
And what new possibilities open up economic, social, when human error on the roads becomes, maybe not eliminated, but drastically reduced? A relic of a more dangerous past.
It's about more than just getting from A to B, isn't it?
Yeah.
It really is about reshaping our world.
One autonomous mile at a time. What will you do with the time saved? The income gained. Definitely something to think about.